All right, let's jump right into this explainer and uncover the highly classified multi-domain military technologies that are actively being developed right now in 2026. We are looking at a geopolitical landscape that is shifting faster than at any point in modern history. And honestly, to understand where we're going, we first have to understand exactly what is being built right now in the shadows.
The Cold War was defined by a terrifying, yet surprisingly simple arms race. It was all about raw nuclear yield and megatonnage. Basically, who had the biggest bomb. But today's global security reality is driven by extreme speed, artificial intelligence, and digital autonomy. It's no longer just about explosive power. It's about whose algorithms can think the fastest and whose weapons can bypass defenses before human operators even realize they're under attack.
So today on Tech Clips 46, we are going to declassify the 6 domains of this 2026 arms race. We'll cover a new arms race, hypersonics and 6th-gen aircraft, AI autonomous combat systems, quantum, cyber, and energy, secret satellites and sea weapons, and finally, the global security reality. Starting off with Section 1, a new arms race. We're looking at a massive surge in global missile stockpiles. To put this into perspective, let's look at some official government statements. Based on a recently declassified U.S. intelligence assessment, we are seeing a staggering expansion in global arsenals. It's a confirmed fact that the U.S. intelligence community projects missile threats to the homeland will expand more than 5-fold. We're talking about a massive jump from roughly 3,000 missiles today to over 16,000 by 2035. And this isn't just traditional rockets. This includes advanced cruise missiles and cheaper, expendable drones that are quite literally built to swarm and overwhelm our current defensive shields through sheer mass. Moving right up the escalation ladder to Section 2, hypersonic and 6th-gen aircraft. This is the absolute future of aerial dominance. Expert analysis shows that hypersonic glide vehicles are fundamentally changing the game. We're talking about maneuvering at speeds exceeding Mach 5. That is incredibly fast. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles, these systems use rocket boosters to reach the upper atmosphere, detach, and then unpredictably glide to their targets. They are specifically designed to penetrate existing missile defenses because they drastically reduce reaction times. Right now, the US, China, Russia, and India are all actively pouring billions into a race to master this Mach 5 maneuverability. And it's not just missiles. Based on official government statements, we now have a confirmed global lineup of 6th-generation fighter programs. The U.S. Air Force recently selected the Boeing F-47. Meanwhile, China has already test-flown prototypes like the J-36 and revealed their White Emperor concept. Over in Europe and Asia, the UK, Japan, and Italy are collaborating on the Global Combat Air Program. What's fascinating is that all these fighters share key traits: advanced stealth, laser-based directed energy weapons, and manned-unmanned teaming, where human pilots will literally command swarms of AI drones. Which brings us to Section 3, AI autonomous combat systems. This is what happens when software controls the hardware. Now, raw speed is absolutely nothing without control, and the Future of Life Institute's expert risk analysis is super revealing here. While using AI for secure communication sits safely in the green zone, relying on AI for early warning systems, like missile detection, pushes us straight into the high-risk orange zone. And moving toward automated retaliatory launches or fully autonomous systems, that drops us directly into the red zone of severe strategic instability. Expert analysis points to a genuinely terrifying possibility here. If autonomous algorithms scale weapons far beyond human operation, we risk a catastrophic erosion of human control over the use of force. Think about it. When the ratio of weapons to human operators vastly exceeds 1-to-1, militaries are forced to rely on simulated data to train these AIs. And as we all know, AI can fail unpredictably. This raises massive concerns about handing over split-second military decisions to a machine. Let's shift gears to Section 4, quantum, cyber, and energy. Welcome to the invisible digital battlefield. This arms race doesn't stop at physical weapons. It extends deep into non-kinetic domains. Over 100 countries now operate dedicated military cyber units. It is a confirmed fact that the global cyber warfare market is projected to surpass $136 billion by 2033. We are seeing militaries actively weaponizing some wild tech. We're talking massive investments in quantum sensing and computing that threaten current encryption, autonomous cyber weapons that operate without human intervention, electronic warfare used for GPS jamming, and high-energy lasers deployed to cheaply shoot down enemy drones. Climbing even higher, We hit Section 5, Secret Satellites and Sea Weapons. This is the realm of black-budget deep tech.
As we enter this murky realm of highly classified orbital and underwater autonomous weapons, you really have to ask yourself a crucial question. As nations race to develop underwater autonomous vehicles and advanced satellite constellations, what actually happens when these technologies go rogue? Without strict oversight, the proliferation of these systems could severely exacerbate global security threats.
Because this domain is so heavily classified, we do have to rely a bit on public speculation here. Reports point to deeply classified $100 million programs slated for around 2026 under incredibly sci-fi-sounding code names like Asgard, Lazarus, Oculus Prime, and Pele. Now, the funding for these is documented, but the total lack of transparency makes their true capabilities completely unknown. Experts are left guessing whether we're looking at advanced satellite networks, AI targeting grids, or next-generation autonomous submarines.
And that leads us to our final section, Section 6, the global security reality. Where does strategic stability stand in the 2026 landscape?
All of these physical, digital, and autonomous technologies are converging at a uniquely vulnerable moment in modern human history. As the geopolitical landscape deteriorates, we know China's nuclear arsenal expanded rapidly between 2020 and 2025, and the U.S. dedicated massive multi-billion-dollar budgets to cyber warfare. But the really critical point here is February 2026. The expiry of the New START Treaty means that for the first time in over 50 years, there are absolutely no agreed limits on strategic nuclear weapons between the U.S. and Russia. An expert analysis suggests a pretty startling conclusion because of all this. The sheer volume of new hypersonic missiles, autonomous drones, and cyber weapons being procured is actively locking global powers into a tense, multi-party arms race. Traditional arms control relied on physically verifying warheads, right? Well, that is nearly impossible to do with software code or digital tech. Because of this, experts warn that this impending conventional and digital arms race may actually overshadow the nuclear one entirely. So, as artificial intelligence, hypersonic speed, and autonomous algorithms start to replace raw nuclear yield as the primary currency of global power, we're left with a massive, vital question. How will humanity govern a new generation of weapons that can literally think for themselves? Finding space for renewed diplomacy is definitely more critical now than ever before. Thank you so much for watching this explainer, and make sure you subscribe to Tech Clips 46 for more deep dives into the technologies shaping our world.